Hey guys, Marlo back again. I'm continuing my reviews on the Creature Replicas action figures. In this batch we have two more. We have the Louisiana Rougarou and the Horrorhound. But first of all, before I begin, if you are under the age of 13, this channel and video is not meant for you, as this channel and video is meant for the more mature or adult collectors out there. So if you're under the age of 13, please tune out. Anyhow, we have, again, the Louisiana Rougarou. Not too familiar with this creature, or cryptid. From what I understand, he's more or less a type of werewolf kind of creature, and I believe the origins originated in France and carried on over to, you know, the New Orleans area, you know, that type of area in the US. And for the Horrorhound, the only Horrorhound I'm more familiar with is stuff like Cerberus, and you know, the hellhounds in mythology that pretty much guarded the gates of hell or something like that, and they were more like dogs with like reddish eyes, black fur. This one looks more like some kind of a Frankenstein werewolf creature, so not too familiar if there is cryptid stories on a hellhound like that, so I'm gonna have to research that a little bit, but he looks pretty cool. So anyways, I grouped these two together because they both look like werewolf type creatures, and they're not just simple repaints. There's like different stuff going on with both, so we'll take a closer look at that. Here is the package. You get some crazy ripped up shirt debris there, I guess, that you can dress up the Rougarou with. Part of the display there, some kind of skeleton, the display base in the background. And as you can see there, it says Creature Replica. The back of the packages are pretty much identical on all of them. They show 4 of the other figures in the collection. And moving on to the Horrorhound, we can see the figure there. He has some kind of a tombstone. Nice display base as well back there. And once again, the Creature Replica logo. And again, these figures are meant for ages 14 and up, as you can see back there. Once again, the back, like I said, identical to the other figures. And if you wanted to, there's some information there as far as Creature Replica. And I guess these came out back in 2015. And I haven't heard much about them since. So I'm hoping they're still around and will release future figures, because they really have done an amazing job with these figures, in my opinion. So it's a shame that you know, they're a little bit unknown out there and aren't getting as much recognition as I think they deserve. So anyways, let me go ahead and open these up. They're going to be a little bit tough. They come in these crazy clamshell blister packaging, so let me cut them open, get them out, and we can take a closer look at both out of package. And here we have both the Rougarou and the Hellhound out of package, and we'll look at the accessories for each. First of all, with the Rougarou, he comes with the display base that you see here. Pretty nice base with all the foliage going on. A little extra piece there, looks like some kind of shredded up corpse or skeleton. And you get some pieces of what look like fabric there from, I believe, a shirt for after when he transformed from being a man, I suppose, to the Rougarou creature. So like I said, I don't know too much about the story behind the Rougarou. Again, I'm assuming he's more or less a werewolf type creature. And again, that would explain the shredded up shirt there. And moving on to the Hellhound. Again, this is kind of different. Again, it looks more like a Frankenstein type werewolf. Would have been cool to make it more like the Hellhound that I think we're more familiar with, if he was more of a black color with red eyes. And I don't know about all that other stuff on him, the stitching and the gore, but it looks cool. Don't get me wrong, I like this figure, but the name Hellhound isn't what I would associate with this figure or this creature right here. Anyways, his stand looks like that. I think it's pretty much identical to what we got with the Rougarou, just repainted. Yeah, it looks to be about the same. Again, just repainted differently. And he has a extra piece here. Oh man, I have this cough and I can't shake it, but I'm trying to get through these videos. But you have some kind of tombstone there that you can plug into the base right there. So let me get these all together and give you guys a closer look at each posed up on their display stands. Now before I go ahead and put them on their display stands, it might be a good idea to show you the points of articulation first, as well as do some measurements. The Rougarou stands, let's see, right at about 9 inches tall, maybe a little bit taller. You can see there. And as far as the Hellhound, just a tad shorter, right under 9 inches. Again, it looks like the Rougarou is just a tad taller, maybe because of the head sculpt, or I don't know. I think I got the legs straightened out pretty much exactly the same, so I think it's more or less the head sculpt that's kind of making up the difference. But yeah, pretty much 9 inches for both. Again, with their legs fully extended. They're pretty much like werewolves or dogs, so they have those extra joints in the legs. So once I kind of bend those in the proper position, they're going to be a little bit shorter, but fully extended. They look like that. And just to look at them both side by side, you can see some of the differences and similarities. They are pretty much using a lot of the same molds, just tweaking it a little bit for the Horrorhound. You can see there with the legs. You know what? It is a Horrorhound, isn't it? Oh my god, I think I've been saying Hellhound. Okay. I've been messing up this whole video the whole time. Okay, it's a Horrorhound, so I guess it is supposed to be sort of a Frankenstein-like creature. I don't know why I kept thinking of a Hellhound. So apologies, guys. It's supposed to be a Horrorhound, right? Oh my god, where is the paper for him? Looking at, yeah. There, Horrorhound. Okay, I'm just tired. Anyhow, let's get on with the video. You can see the differences there. With the arms, they look to be pretty much similar, just at the wrist joint there. There's some differences with the stitching on the Horrorhound. And with the thigh there, you can see they added that stitching as well. There's more fur on the chest with the Rougarou, and with the Horrorhound it's more bare-chested, as you can see there, and in the abs there's some gore going on. Most definitely the head sculpts are completely different, and other than that, yeah, you can see, you know, the colors are also quite different here and there. Alright, so as far as articulation, they should be pretty much identical since most of the molds are the same. So let me go ahead and work with the Rougarou. Oh man, let me try to get my tripod set up better. Alright, let's see. As far as lighting, with the Rougarou you have an articulated jaw, which is cool. Head on a ball joint, as you can see. Shoulders do go out. Bend at the elbow. Swivel at the upper bicep there. At the wrist there's some rotation as well as a hinge there to allow you to bend the wrist. Articulation at the midsection as well as this area here. So there's extra rotation there. Pretty cool. Legs go out like so, forward, rotation at the hips, bend at the knee. Then you get the other segment there at the leg, because it's like a dog or wolf creature, and rotation at the foot as well as a hinge. Oop, to allow you to bend it like that. There's some ratcheted joints, which is pretty cool, so hopefully it will hold the pose a little bit better than if it wasn't ratcheted. And looking at the Hellhound, again you can see some of the similarities in the molds and the differences there. but his articulation is going to be pretty much identical. Get the rotation there at the midsection, and then right below that as well. There's no articulated jaw with this guy, unfortunately, just the head rotation. And just like the other one, arms go out, pretty much the same otherwise. So let's take a look at some of the other details with the figure. The back of the Hellhound. Why do I keep saying Hellhound? The Horror Hound. The Horror Hound. Okay. I gotta remember that. So when I see the stitches and all that, he is a Horror Hound. Anyways, just goes to show I don't know too much about a Horror Hound either. But he looks crazy. He looks pretty awesome. Crazy details there. With the back of the Rougarou, you get a tail. So we didn't see that with the Horror Hound, as you can see there. This guy has a tail. And I so much want to call this thing a werewolf instead of a Rougarou, but I'm trying to keep that in mind. Rougarou. And again, what's cool about this head sculpt is the articulated mouth that opens and closes, which is really cool. Really love that detail. Trying to get in there to show you the mouth. Just awesome paintwork throughout. Underneath, you even get some details at the bottom of the feet. And after putting the display stands together, even though the bases are identical and just repaints, they were smart enough to switch around the attachments. So with this one, which is basically this display stand, just turned around, they were smart enough to make it look more different by putting the tombstone at the back. So you're kind of turning the whole base around. And then with this one, for the Rougarou, we have the plug-in, which is more at the front for the skeleton. So again, just making it look all the more different there. So again, let me get them displayed for you guys and give you guys a look at both on their displays. And here we have both of the figures on their display bases, looking really impressive, I might say. Again, the Rougarou, basically what I want to just say is a werewolf right there. Got the extra shredded clothes on the collar there and the wrists, which kind of add to it. Looks pretty cool. Glad they included those options there. And the Horror Hound, once again, not the Hellhound. Apologies once again. Just really had that stuck in my head there for, I don't know, for whatever reason. So again, we have the Horror Hound on his base. And again, both looking really cool, in my opinion, displayed. Just love the details on this Horror Hound. Didn't like it at first, thought it was kind of crazy looking, but now that I think about it as just being a Horror Hound and not a Hellhound, yeah, I guess it works a lot better. Definitely horrific. Alright. So, with the other pairing, I was thinking these two would be the bad guys, and the Yeti and Bigfoot would be maybe the good guys of the group. But looking at these two, maybe we can have the Yeti and the Horror Hound being the bad guys, and the Bigfoot and the Rougarou being the good guys. So, I don't know, just kind of using my imagination there if I were to develop a story with these creatures. So you have a couple good guys and a couple bad guys to go against each other. So either the wolf type creatures against the ape-like creatures, or one of each against the other. That would be kind of cool. Again, the Yeti being the bad guy, and maybe the Horror Hound the bad guy for these two sets here. I don't know, just something that was going through my mind. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed this unboxing and review. If you guys did, please give the video a thumbs up. Be sure to share the video, like the video, comment below. Let me know more about these guys if you have any info, and subscribe if you haven't. As always, take care guys, keep on collecting, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.